Hello, I am printf, and this is another one of my Can Rush tutorial videos. This time I'm going to be concentrating on PvP in general, as opposed to on a specific map. I will be covering how to deal with various responses from the Protoss, such as proxy void or a ninja, as well as how to deal with certain cheeses, such as a proxy 2 gate. So in this game, my opponent, who is a Diamond League Protoss, opts to proxy 2 gate me. I do not notice his proxy until I scout his base and find that there's nothing there. Actually, that's not true. I noticed it right here. My bad. I noticed that he is proxying me. However, even if it weren't for that, I would have found it out pretty quickly anyway. By now, it is early enough for me to be able to make use of it. So immediately, I double gas cap him. Without gas, he can only build zealots, which don't stand a chance against the defensive cannons that I build. One defensive cannon is generally enough, but for the sake of being safe, building a second cannon is always a good idea because your opponent has no long-term plan at the moment, so building 2 defensive cannons is perfectly acceptable and will make you considerably safer. I then proceed to do my standard cannon rush of the 3 pylon wall off here to get a cannon up here, and then push him towards his base. With only probes at home, he has no actual way to defend this, and he is incapable of building stalkers at any point because he is double gas capped. So zealots try to harass me. They get a kill because I screw up my micro, but otherwise they can't do much. With the cannon finished, I can now push into his base. He needs to take down my gas to get some of his own, but for some reason he's attacking the wrong one. Even if he weren't, he would not be able to actually get out any stalkers in time. He has a cybernetic score, but no gas with which to use it, so all you can build is zealots, and all zealots will do is really nothing. He takes the ninja up here because he realizes that he is dead. So now I simply begin to 4 gate him. He still has no gas, and although his tech is considerably further along than mine, his lack of gas means that he doesn't actually have anything. My probe follows his probes and finds his ninja. Now this is a mistake for me. I shouldn't try and can rush him here, although I believe I do attempt to. At this point, there's no reason for me to can rush. Yeah, I attempt to can rush here. This was a mistake. Don't recommend doing this. This was simply a waste of a lot of money. With 2 zealots out, he can break through pylons far too quickly. I do have Mothership Core out now, which moves towards his base. He's currently resisting out a Stalker, which will deal with the Mothership Core. However, I do manage to get a couple kills with it. Managed to kill 2 probes and deny some mining for a little bit, which made this more than worth it. Second Stalker comes out, and he does get the Mothership Core kill. Now it doesn't matter of 4 getting him. I'm floating a lot of money because I'm not very good. When Warp Gate finishes, which is considerably further ahead than his, which still has another like 10 seconds on it at least. I can begin to kill off his stalkers. And now I can kite the zealots. I built 2 more gateways because, again, I'm bad. So I need them to get those flowing a lot of money. His gateways are very easy to unpower because they're right next to your base. So with those out of the picture, he is down 2 gateways and can't meet your production. So you can easily just win with the 4 gates. And then your opponent rages and leaves the game. Easy win. In this game, my opponent goes for proxy void ray. This was the second game I played against him this day. So he knew it was coming and was planning to do this from the beginning. So here the cannon rush is going well. I've got my cannon up. I have my cannon and my pylon building. This pylon is guarding this cannon so his zealot can't attack it from the safety of this side. He has 2 simulators and is not building Stalker or Mothership Core, despite the fact that the Cybernetics Core is finished, which immediately makes me suspicious of him potentially being doing proxy void ray. Therefore, I immediately throw down an assimilator, as well as a proxy gateway. And I begin killing off these bricks to prevent him from getting his probes out and ninjaing somewheres. I get my last couple of cannons up here. He does get a Mothership Core out, which is actually bad for him because it cuts into his void ray count. But regardless, he did do that. I guess perhaps throwing me off the scent, but it didn't exactly work. I get a defensive cannon up just to buy some time so I can mine some more gas. Once this finishes, I wall him in with the Cybernetics Core, just to be efficient with my buildings. Although he doesn't really have many probes that would be escaping anyway. He current boosts out a single void ray, which is all he can afford because he did go for that Mothership Core, although he wouldn't have the minerals for it anyway. Or gas, actually. I'm not sure why, but he's somehow really low in resources. Normally they can afford a second one sometimes, if they don't go for the Mothership Core. But this guy couldn't. I think because he lost so many workers to the cannons. So now his void ray comes in, kills off the pylon, kills off my probes. I'd prioritize mining gas, so that way I can get out a whole bunch of stalkers at his base. So now I have 3 stalkers queued and 3 already out. With 6 stalkers I can easily take down even 2 void rays. So he leaves the game. Here's a game where my opponent takes a ninja base. And this opponent is actually somewhat intelligent in that he proxies the Cybernetics Core as well. A lot of people won't manage to do this, and you can kill their Cybernetics Core, putting you even further ahead than I am in this game. So it's King Sejong, so I use the cannon rush that I included in my PvP and King Sejong video. So here you can get another testament to success. He immediately cancels his pylon and realizes that he needs to proxy a ninja. So he gets his ninja going really quickly. I have my cannon coming. I only cancel one of these pylons. I might have been able to get away with canceling both of them here. He ninjas a pylon for his Cybernetics Core, which does delay his Cybernetics Core a little bit, so it's worth noting. The Cybernetics Core is considerably delayed, but it is safe, otherwise it would die. He pulls all his probes, goes to the ninja, which is almost done, and he loses only like 30 seconds of mining time. I find his ninja. You can't really can rush this, especially not with a zealot out, so I don't even bother trying. Meanwhile, I am getting my own tech going, and I get him out of the core out. This is critical. Because he only has a zealot, he does not have any anti-air. This gateway is unpowered, these gateways are still building, which means that this military core can wreak havoc on his mineral line, because there's no anti-air at all. He actually does really good work on micro and has only lost one so far, but the mining time loss is critical. I get a zealot out as well. And now, back home, I'm chrono boosting out warp gates for a 4 gate. Military core beats a stalker 1-on-1 if there is no micro involved. Micro is annoying though. Now I simply attempt to get as many probe kills as I can. My stalker's arrived now. He still doesn't even have warp gates. Apparently he has warp gate. His warp gate finishes before me because he has because he proxied a cybernetics core. I screw up there, get my probes surrounded, and I don't actually win right here like I probably should have. Regardless, my warp gate is finishing up, and he has not really been mining, whereas I have a lot of money banked. I again do some stupid micro mistakes. This was an old replay when I was really bad. I add on some more gateways because I'm floating a lot of money. Because I'm bad. Again, old replay. My opponent was only in diamond as well. But regardless, I was really bad at the time as well, so. Anyway, now it's 3 stalkers against 3 stalkers and zealots, but I have high ground, so it's not horrendous. I still do lose the fight though, because obviously he has more stuff than me. However, my military core once again denies his entire mineral line of mining. And now he's taking the aggression to me, because I've thrown away so many units due to bad micro. But as soon as these gateways finish, I can begin pumping out large numbers of units, whereas he is still only on 2, almost 3 gateways. With a very high stalker count, I can just simply engage and win the game. I'm also getting Twilight Council just in case Dark Templar become necessary, because there's no way for him to have protection. But it is not necessary and I win the game. So again, if he doesn't proxy cybernetics core, you can simply kill this off and win much more easily. However, even if he does, there's plenty you can do. Mothership core, if your opponent has no stalker, can do a lot of damage to a mineral line, and a 4 gate is always effective. So in this game, my opponent goes for a Zealot's probe all-in, after I manage to abuse his building placement because he screws up. So this pylon right here is very helpful for me and allows me to more efficiently do a pretty powerful wall off. So he quickly realizes he has no way of breaking through this, although he does try. It doesn't work out too well for him. And my cannon finishes. So he chrono boosts out a stalker and pulls his probes and goes for it. So I see him coming, so I get a cannon in my mineral line to defend, and I'm getting my tech going already because I noticed that he wasn't really going to hold off the cannon rush. Once the stalker arrives, he moves in. With my cannon in the mineral line, he can't really kill my probes. Not with his probes and Zelda at least. And then I can turn boost out stalkers at will. Now this does get unpowered, which is unfortunate, but I do get my stalker out in time. And now I can begin to harass his mothership core. And as soon as this becomes powered again, which it won't because I'm not really powering it, but I am getting gateway back here. As soon as I can begin pumping out more stalkers, I can win because I am mining and he is not. So he has no way of killing my mineral line, as I said. I do take some unnecessary damage from this. My mothership core comes out, and with that and my stalker, I am somewhat safe now. And with all the cans in my mineral line, he realizes that he doesn't have a chance and he taps out. So I hope that this has been informative and will help you in PvP if your opponent does any of the aforementioned responses or build orders. So good luck and have fun.